I didn't really want to make this video, mostly because it all feels a little bit too personal in a way. Like I pride myself on trying to make a channel with sharing like my honest approach to game development, the struggles and the things that I'm focusing on and working on. But some of the stuff I'm working on is incredibly personal, and that's not something I want to be sharing out loud. And that kind of came to the forefront this weekend. So I was participating in the GMTK game jam this weekend, and look at that. I mean, almost 10,000 people submitted. Um, Absolutely crazy. This was running from July 30th to August 3rd, and I had booked out the whole weekend. I had mentally prepared myself to spend this weekend with the goal of simply having fun, enjoying live streaming for the whole jam, and I did that. I had amazing streams on Wednesday, over 100 people on Wednesday, over 100 people average on Thursday, and on Friday as well. But midway through Friday, I started to feel some symptoms of burnout for me, which look like my creativity kind of goes down, and I think that goes down because my confidence goes down. And so a random chat comment asking about what about doing this or that all of a sudden starts throwing a wrench in the process. And I'm not saying feedback is the cause. I'm saying my like the challenge that I'm trying to I guess work through with my therapist is that my self-confidence is not something that I think that I get from me in a way. And so on Friday, my self-confidence got really low. And I think part of that's being burnt out. I didn't really prepare for the GMTK game jam like I probably should have. I probably should have taken Monday and Tuesday off, but instead I was working on my next game, a game about a black hole. And I think I suffered from a little bit of burnout coming into that midway through the GMTK. On top of it, going through some emotional challenges and working through some stuff. Like I'm like session 6 into therapy. And if you've gone to therapy yourself, you know that at least for me at that point, I started to feel like I kind of understand why sometimes people quit therapy. I'm not quitting therapy, but I'm like, I kind of get why you get kind of over that initial hump. And all of a sudden you're like, oh gosh, this shit's hard. It's hard and it's scary. And I thought the GMTK game jam would be my time to like take a deep breath, take a step back, and just focus on doing game development and enjoying that process. And it was going so well. But life finds a way of coming back in, and I wasn't quite able to submit. I did get pretty far along. The game I have, definitely I found the fun after kind of monkeying around with it. It was gonna be kind of a pinball type of game where you shot out these little rockets and had to get score, and then also kind of, I guess, brick breaker in a way, or a breakout where you could go ahead and have to like bounce it off of the thing. We have like trampolines over here, and these are portals, and there's a moon out there. And I was likely, if I was going to keep going with this, I probably would pivot it that each time you shoot, instead of score, you get money, and then you get to slowly upgrade over time. So making it like a very minimalistic incremental game. Upgrades would be to like increase the money you got from asteroids, increase the different or add things to orbit, maybe shoot more than one rocket, have more than one launch pad, just kind of like give you a slow incremental, like a fun little 5-minute incremental game where you would very quickly just start to feel really good about the big numbers you're getting. That's probably going to be the pivot that I think would have ultimately made this game really fun, and then the polish would have made the dopamine hit go really big. And so I got close. I got the fun happening. It was just like the final 20% of the game, which is honestly the hardest part of any sort of game. And that it feels bad. I'll be honest. I'm disappointed in myself that I wasn't able to submit. I was having such a good time on streams and having some of the best streams as far as viewership numbers go that I've ever had, which is absolutely incredible and fun. But that's how life goes. you can't always get a W. You're not always going to be in the right mental state. And as somebody who's trying to not compartmentalize my feelings and emotions, I'm also trying to give myself grace in this moment, knowing that I'm going through some challenging things. As my partner says, I'm working through things. I guess we are working through things because she's in therapy too. Like, we're working through things that most people never do. Never do. And I have so much hope and faith that working through some of these emotions are going to turn me into or help me become the best version of myself. And that hope is awesome, but right now that doesn't mean that any of this is any easier. Good luck out there. If you submitted to the GMTK Game Jam, congratulations. I'll see you next time. And I'm sure I'll talk more about this in the future. And I have some podcasts set up to talk about GMTK. But I'm doing okay. I'm giving myself the space I need to continue doing this in the long run, and just knowing that there's some short-term sacrifices I need to make in order to get there. I've been Aarimous. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.